Good day and welcome to Henry Money Making class. So today I'm going to be teaching you every single thing you actually need to know about dollar arbitrage. Of course, I'm sure some of you must have heard about dollar arbitrage. Some of you might actually have been new to it. But in this class, you're going to learn the basics. I mean the basics. Everything that needs to get you started. And with this, you can actually be able to hit about 100k on a monthly basis by simply doing nothing very serious. All you simply need is just bring out your phone, get your bank card, run transactions, and then you do it consistently, and then your money just keeps rolling into your account. It's as simple and sweet as that. So, without much ado, I want us to get down into business. First and foremost, my name is Tech Savvy, and welcome to Tech Savvy's channel. So, today you'll be looking at one of the simplest methods that we actually been using. Now, the very funny thing about arbitrage is that arbitrage has actually been in existence for quite a long while. People have been doing arbitrage. So, what is simply arbitrage? Arbitrage simply means you buying low and then you selling at a higher rate. It's as simple as that. So when you go to the market or you get a bill of clothes, and then what people actually call okrika, or some people call fairly used. So when you get fairly used clothes and then you buy them in bulk, so you buy it cheap, and then what do you simply do? You actually bring them over to the market and then you sell it off at a high price. That's simply arbitrage. So I'm going to be teaching you dollar arbitrage and then basically dollar arbitrage. But the beautiful thing about dollar arbitrage is that yes, crypto sometimes is also involved. But whichever way one you think you feel is that you're actually comfortable with, you proceed with it. If it's dollar arbitrage you're comfortable with it, fine. If it's crypto arbitrage you're comfortable with it, then fine, you go ahead. So in the course of this class, you have nothing to be scared about. And well, just like I said to you before, I'm tech savvy and I teach you how to make money online. And so if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, click on the subscription button down there. Also hit a thumbs up and then drop a comment in the comment section. Now, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to drop in the comment sections. I'll be able to get back to you. And then I will also drop my contact for all those who want to get started. You will actually have access to me directly on WhatsApp ASAP. So the first thing you need to do is I also help people create videos to promote their businesses, and I am somebody who is actually out there to educate people on various online businesses they can actually be able to utilize. But for now, majorly, I specify more on dollar arbitrage. Now, have there been people who have been successful with arbitrage? Of course, lots of persons have been successful with arbitrage. In fact, for me, my own story was quite funny. I remember when I first started arbitrage, I think I was starting with around $40, $20. In fact, at a point in time, I remember I even got scammed, but you see, I learned my lessons and I learned to realize that whenever you begin to see things that seem so too good to be true, run away from them. Uh, it was on Telegram basically, so I learned my lessons and I still teach people how to avoid such mistakes. So people have actually been successful doing arbitrage, and so I I have groups where I teach people this, and so if you want to join any of the groups, you're free to join. I don't have anything. I can teach you one of the free groups. You just join, and then so from time to time you can ask me questions, and even if I'm not online, there'll always be somebody to attend to you. So I've already told you what dollar arbitrage is all about. Simply buying low and then selling high. So for dollar arbitrage, it means you actually buy at a low price and then sell at a higher price. Now, please be aware, the BDCs, their bookies you actually see on the street for those of you who are in Nigeria. Now, what they simply do is that CBN actually gives them at the official rate and then they come out to the black markets there and then they sell dollars to you. So you can imagine the rate and the amount of money that these guys are making. But you might not actually have that liberty or leverage. So, but in the course of this class, I'll be teaching you where to be able to get dollars at a cheaper rate and then where to be able to sell off. Though I still buy these funds just in case you want to sell, you're free to sell to me. But if you decide otherwise you want to sell to anybody, you're free to sell to anybody. Okay, so what are the tools that we actually need for dollar arbitrage? First and foremost, you need a valid ID card, you need a bank ATM card, you need a mobile phone, and then your capital. So you see, this is so simple. A valid ID card, your bank ATM card, your mobile phone, and your capital. I'm going to talk about all those things and I'm going to break them down for you so you can actually be able to flow. Now, what are the types of valid ID card you actually need for this for dollar arbitrage? You need a driver's license, an international passport, a permanent voter's card, and a national ID card. Please take note that your NIMC slip or NIN slip or whatever it's called, it's not a valid ID card for international bodies. Now, they do not recognize that paper because paper can easily be forged. Anybody can just create anything and forge it, so therefore they wouldn't accept it. So if you're going to be saying, oh, I'm bringing an ID card, that ID card must be a plastic one, apart from the international passport that is actually paper and not plastic. So your driver license is a plastic one, your permanent voter's card plastic one, your national ID card is a plastic one. It's as simple as that. So now where can you actually be able to get a valid ID card? I'm going to drop links for some of you so you can actually proceed to do your registration online and then probably be able to get your ID card. So for those of you who have already gotten your temporary PM voters card, you can actually go online with a link, or you can simply type for CVRO voters card online, and then you'll be able to get a link that will help you to continue the procedure. So once you're done, you print out the paper and then you take it to your local office, your voters card registration area, where you can actually be able to do your registration. So that will really be awesome. So with that, you can actually be able to get started, because truth be told, without your valid ID card, you will not be able to do anything tangible. That's the truth. You will not be able to do anything tangible. So the next thing again that we'll be looking at is, so then again, I'll also drop links for you to see how you can be able to get an international passport. So though you can go to your immigration office in your state and apply for one, the price varies and it depends on who you're using. If you're going through agents, you might spend up to 40,000 depending on the state. Though there are some states actually that the government has actually decided that or the immigration officers, agent immigration, has decided that okay, these states will actually go higher, but officially I think the price should be around 25 to 30,000. And for me, I would advise you, if you can go for an international passport, go for an international passport, because it will open more doors for you in the course of this business than other ID cards. There are websites you get into and they will ask you for your international passports, and they wouldn't ask you for your national ID card or your voter's card. So, if you can actually be able to get that, I think that will really benefit you more. Now, should you make a loss in dollar arbitrage? No. You're not even permitted to make any loss in dollar arbitrage. The only time you will make a loss in dollar arbitrage is only if you do not calculate well. The calculation of dollar arbitrage is so sweet and so simple that once you fully understand this, you're good to go. It's very simple. You just need to calculate the charges the website is giving you. You need to know your bank rate, and you can do all these things even before you begin to put in each fund. So usually I tell people, for you to be able to check your bank rate effectively, you need to do a deposit of $2 or $3, and with that you can actually be able to know, okay, this is what my bank is charging me. Once you know your bank rate, at least $1 or $2 is not much for anybody to say, oh, I made a loss. No, not at all. So once you know your bank rate, okay, let's imagine that I'm doing a deposit with, I did a deposit of $3, and after doing the deposit of $3, my bank actually charged me 1,500. So what I'll simply do is I'll do 1,500 divided by 3, which means equal to what? 500 naira. It means that for every single dollar, my bank was actually charging me what? 500 naira. Now, this is just for emphasis purpose. It does not necessarily mean that your bank will charge you 500. No, not at all. So if it's actually 500, what this simply means is and you want to deposit $100, it then means that you actually need 500 for $1 times 100, meaning that's 50. Now, I will advise you to have more than 50,000 naira in your account, just in case your bank might want to take 1 or 2 little charges. That way, it keeps you safe. So I tell people, have at least extra 1,000 naira for any transaction you're doing. just for you to be on the safe side so your transaction doesn't fail. Then another thing again you will need to take note of when handling transactions is the fact that you must have stable internet connection and your phone for receiving OTP must be close to you. So now before I go ahead and begin to talk about the purpose of your identity card is simply because they need to verify your identity and need to be sure who they are dealing with. Let it not be that it's a scammer or a fraudster or somebody is involved in fraudulent activities. That's the first one. Now, the second thing you need to know why you need a bank card, because your bank card is actually the only place that you can actually be able to buy dollars at a cheaper rate. So that's the reason why we are actually going to be making use of a bank card. But please take notes, take notes, take notes. The majority of Nigerian cards are actually pegged at $100 in a month. So once you exhaust $100, it means you're done with that card for the month. So the best way for you to actually be able to make more profit in this business is for you to have like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bank cards. No bank is going to tell you why you open an account. No, 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 no. In fact, the bankers are even looking for you to come and open bank accounts with them. So we take their cards and then we use their cards. So let's imagine I have up to 10 cards. It simply means I have $1,000 available for me. So if I'm making a profit of 30 naira per dollar, it then means that I should be able to make about 30,000 naira every single month. If I'm making 30 naira per dollar and I have 10 cards, it means I'm making 30,000 naira every single month. Now, this money could actually be seen as a side income or something you use to fuel your car, buy data, and all that. So, you actually see that this is profitable. Though we have other courses that could be able to even help you gain more than that, but it's actually in the advanced class. But I wouldn't want anybody to think about that for now. I want you to start with the beginners class until you fully understand everything that you need to know, how to navigate, how to do your calculations and everything. So, how do you calculate your profit in dollar arbitrage? Very simple. Your profit is calculated your capital minus your selling price. And what is inclusive of your capital is that the amount of money you're depositing plus fees. You might decide to deposit $100 and the website you're using might decide to take $2. So it then means you're going to be paying $102. But remember that we said that Nigerian bank cards do not allow you to exceed $100. So what do? It then means that if you want to make a payment, you will likely have to make what, $98, and then $2 will be for the website that you're actually going to be making use of. So $98 plus what, $2. So you need to know the charge that each website. Some websites charge 2%, some charge 4%, some 5%. You need to know exactly what they are charging. In the course of this course, I'll be teaching you how to pull out the dollars from those bank cards that you actually have been carrying around. Lots of us are carrying our bank cards around and we don't know we are wasting the dollars on it. So I'm going to be teaching you how to be able to make good money from it. Good money. I'll be teaching you that. So let's see a particular calculation. Let's imagine that your capital is actually 45,000, and then when you're selling off, let's imagine that I want to buy $100 and probably I'm being charged 450 naira per dollar. So that means if I'm doing $100, I'll be charged 45,000 naira. And if after selling, the total I get is what, 48,000. Even after fees is even with fees being inclusive, it then means I'm going to make a profit of 3,000 naira. That's exactly what I'm actually going to make, a profit of 3,000 naira. So the next thing we're going to be looking at here is in my videos, which for those who will actually be interested in having access to the videos, other videos than this, I would explain to you all the calculation and the rest that you can actually be able to do. So if you're actually interested, you know that you're saying, man, I really want to make this big money. I really want to hit it this month. Now, you see, there are lots of persons out there who are complaining, there's no money. It's not true. There's money in Nigeria. Arbitrage has shown me there's money. I've seen people make millions in arbitrage. I've seen it. But I wouldn't want to talk about that aspect of it for now. I want people to grow. I'm somebody who believes I first want to see your little steps. I want to see you make that profit first. I want to see you make your first 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000. I want to see you make that money. Then you can come and tell me, oh, I'm actually interested in getting the higher courses. I will know that you're serious. But if you just tell me I want the higher course, no, I just believe that you're not yet ready. So if you seriously want to get started with arbitrage, there's a link. Put this link in your browser instantly to take you to my WhatsApp contact, and then you will actually be able to chat me up quite easily. So you can see there rebrand.li slash dollar hyphen arbitrage. As simple as that. So the moment you do this, you will actually be able to gain access to me, and then I'll tell you what next to do. So thank you very much. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, click on the subscription button so you can actually be able to get more on dollar arbitrage. And then you feel free to chat me up if you need to know any other thing. Thank you very much. I remain your coach, Tech Savvy.